Hello, and welcome to what I'm going to call the Boneworks Dead Rising Challenge. Now, to not waste time, let's jump right in, because this video is going to be a long one. Here are the rules. Rule number 1. If an object is reclaimable, aka disappears when touching these blue reclamation stations or these green barriers, it cannot be used in this run. Rule number 2. We must kill every enemy in the game. Otherwise, this challenge would just be walking through the game without doing anything, which isn't much of a challenge at all. So this addition makes things more interesting. Enemies include everything that would normally attack you, these being Nullmen, Crablets, Zombish, Omni-Projectors, and turrets in all of their forms. As a bonus rule number 3, I will not be looking to pick up any ammo, although if I do accidentally, that does not fully break the rules of this challenge as long as I don't use it. This challenge ends when the credits roll, and just to be clear, full game spoiler warning right away. The game is shown thoroughly, so if you want to experience this game for yourself, I recommend it, and you should go do so first. Now with all the logistics out of the way, let's start a new game. Can you beat Boneworks without any reclaimable objects? We start by immediately skipping the first cutscene and beginning in the break room. Once inside the level, archive everything. This will trigger something I'll get to later. When you're done admiring your best friend Apollo, grab the USB, use the lever with the battery, and continue to the next room. Here you can get a feel for a few of the unusual items we can use for this challenge. Plants, coffee mugs, tables, shelves, but not this monkey. It's actually reclaimable. Continuing forward, a chair does a flip. Then we make our way out of the break room onto the street. Turn off the steam, head through the barrier, and warp to the museum. In museum I like to start by grabbing this broom, but you don't need to do anything special for this stage. After beating up TVs and pushing buttons, you can pick your preferred way of getting up the climbing section and continue through the fake wall. Feel free to practice throwing and swinging and being crushed before pressing the button and moving on. The reason why we archived everything earlier is to unlock this secret room. Not that there's anything here for us, but it's a cool secret that I thought you should see. Continue to the puzzle room and experiment with glass and planks. Then, complete the puzzle however you wish. Raise the gate, smack another few TVs, and enter the giant room of stuff we can't use! This room includes a pistol, another pistol, this gun, an Uzi, and this other gun. But wait, there's more. This room also includes melee weapons such as a hammer, a brick, a pan, a pipe, a wrench, a baseball bat, a sledgehammer, some kunai, 2 daggers, a machete, an axe, these swords, I don't know what they are, a claymore, a bigger claymore, and a noodle. Now throw all that in the trash because we don't need those! Head through the void area, promptly ignore the rest of the museum, and head straight to the gift shop. The gift shop is also known as the giant room of things we can use! Kind of. Say goodbye to the shopkeep and hop into the first real level, Streets. Landing in Streets, we ignore the obvious pile of bricks and head down the alley to find our first weapon replacement, the cinder block. Easy to hold, easy to use, and does a lot of damage. Going through the door, we are about to face the first enemy in the game. Brace yourself for the most intense, challenging, impossible. Moving on. Smash through a couple gates, score a basket, annoy the neighbors, and then proceed to kill everyone else out here. Grab the key, and when approaching the path, you'll find our next replacement. We can't use the lid of the garbage, so we just have to use the bin itself. Stick it on your head, and with enough wandering, you'll find the turret. I recommend staring at your feet to help get your bearings if you're familiar with the level. Also, don't forget to kill the crablet by the red shipping container. Head inside this door, kill the null body inside, don't lower the shield to block the turrets, but grab the key and pick up Apollo because he is wonderful. I am very aware that Apollo is a reclaimable object. He is never used in this run, and you will see that any part of the run where I do have him is equally as possible without him. I just wanted to have a friend to bring along this adventure. Continue on, and you and Apollo can watch the Omni-Projectors mow down some Nullmen. After they finish, you must go back and despawn them by getting nearby, or they will stick around for the rest of the level, breaking our kill all enemies rule. Despawning enemies counts here, because we manually went and removed them ourselves, opposed to just continuing the level and the level getting rid of them. Make your way back upstairs and realize that you should never leave Apollo alone if he's not in danger, because apparently he can move on his own and will probably kill you in your sleep. Knock down the steps to give Apollo a spot to sit away from the turrets and put on your trash can. Line yourself up and go forward until you are beneath the turrets. You can choose to bring the cinder block with you here, but I opted to just disable them first and hold on to my bin, as there were twice as many shots and I didn't want my bin falling off. You can press this button to have a nice close-up view of destruction. Then take out the 3 nullmen past the wall. Move to the next room, lower the platform, and continue to the grinder room. I solved this room by grabbing this large metal crate, bringing it across, using the crate that's already there to press the button, setting up a bridge, and just walking into the vent instead of weighing down the platform. Head through the vent and out through the gate. Start by going on the left sidewalk and head towards the alley. If you listen carefully, you can hear the death sound from this null that gets captured, but that thing drops over top of the grinder room anyways, so he definitely dies. Beat up these 2 in the alley and head to the other side of the road. Fight through this crowd and continue upstairs to the playroom. Kill these 2 nullmen, and after spending some quality time with Apollo, go through the next door past development and through the window. Once down, kill whatever the Omni projector didn't and then kill it too. Then go right to the next area. To solve the puzzle here, just stick a trash can over these 2 poles. Hop over the fence and kill the 2 nullmen here, then go into the elevator room and bring your things across with you. When you come to the shifting platforms, they won't move thanks to that trash can, so you can just make your way upstairs. Be sure to jump off at the end of your launch to give yourself extra clearance on the gap and land inside this office area. Kill everything that spawns in down here and then head up the big staircase. Kill the 2 nullmen before the door and the 2 nullmen after the door, then instead of leaving the level, toss your stuff down and head towards this area over here. Take out the final horde of nullmen and make your way to Runoff. But as you were leaving, they stole Apollo from your grasp, and so begins the quest to get him back. In Runoff, we begin by sadly not being able to use our friend's gun, but we do luckily find a great stack of cinder blocks very early. Head into the locker room, kill the nullmen in the shower, and upon leaving, feel free to toss a couple more blocks down just in case you need them. Jump down, clear out the enemies, then turn on the generators. To solve the elevator puzzle, hit blue, white, white, and lastly orange. Before getting on, you will want to grab this garbage can for defense, then you can head up to the office. Dispose of the null body inside and hit the button. This opens the large door and invites our first problem in, fighting the Omni projectors in groups. Since they have a major range advantage on us, we'll have to be agile to dodge their shots and get in quick. Luckily, they don't have much health, so if we get to them, they will go down fast. Before heading into Trench A, be sure to ready your defenses. Lots of Omni projectors will spawn and quickly surround you, so either hide behind cover well, or just stay in your bin and walk safely to take out this group. Going through the door, watch your left, and kill the Omni projector on the ramp, but don't go up yet. Instead, head forward to this door and put the bin on your head before entering. There's a ton of enemies in here and not much cover to hide behind, so I highly recommend using a strong defensive option in here. Once you clear everyone out, you can head up the ramp. Turn right at the top of the ramp to take out the Omni projector that's waiting, and then rush the next door to get the other 2 before they're ready. Head into the next room, get across this gap however you want, and keep heading up. Kill the one that pops out of this door, and then we first encounter hidden crablets. From this point forward, we will have to break any of these white headset boxes we find because they could potentially have a crablet inside that we need to kill. In this room, both of the headset boxes have crablets in them, so be sure to get both. Something to note is that these boxes are pretty durable to being tossed about, so if need be, you can throw them across the room to avoid fighting in groups. Once done in here, head upstairs to the transit station where lots of nullmen are standing around. Take them out, and head back where you were to jump over this railing. Get the drop on the 2 Omni projectors beneath you, then come face to face with our first major obstacle. When entering this lower area, an Omni projector spawns out there to try to shoot us through the window. He's not hard to dodge, but for this challenge we need to find a way to kill him. Sadly, there is an invisible wall blocking the window from being an option, and the despawning and respawning environment tells me that the game doesn't want you to get over there. With nowhere else to go, we have to keep going forward, leaving the enemy behind. Solve the lock puzzle by pressing the closest one, the farthest one, and then the middle. Keep going, unlock the next door, and stop it from closing behind you. Follow the outside path, and hop off the side. This path is right above that ramp from earlier, so by hopping down we can backtrack and go kill that Omni projector. After trekking back through the empty level again, flip the 2 switches, and continue on. Smash the glass, flip the last switch, and cross the bridge. When you get down off the bridge, you'll want to throw the bin on your head and wander around swinging wildly at the Omni projectors. There are way too many at once to try to hide, and more spawn when some get killed, so just stay in the bin and be patient until they're all gone. Be careful while you're in the bin though, because you can't fall off in the next area because we have no way back. So be very sure you've got them all before continuing. For the one on the roof, throw your cinder block up, grab a barrel or use your trash can, and use that to climb up and take him out. After cleaning out all the enemies here, instead of jumping straight down, hug the side of this wall and get as far out as you can. You'll see the enemies spawn in and you can nab most of them before they spot you. Depending how far your jump got you, there may be some left behind you, so be sure to check before moving on. Heading into the gravity leak room, go upstairs to the top and release the barrels. Add as many as you think is necessary, then go back upstairs and across the container. Back outside, hop over here and arrive at the next challenge. I started by breaking the fence and tossing down my armor, mistake number 1. Then using the part of the fence without barbed wire, we can get up to the higher enemies. Make your way along the path, killing those that spawn. Some ground enemies may see you, so take cover as needed. I hopped down into the trench with my cinder block, which was the much worse mistake number 2. When you fall down this pit, you have no way to get back up. And right after landing, I saw that as soon as you touch the floor, another Omni projector spawns above you, and it doesn't spawn when you're up top. After taking out some anger, I knew I could respawn back up there thanks to the checkpoint just before, which puts you at the gate. Problem solved! The top enemy is spawned in and now we can get to him. But you remember those 2 mistakes I made earlier? Well, this is why they're so bad. We can get to that enemy, yes, but we would have to get our weapons first to be able to kill him, and they're sitting in the bottom of the trench. I locked myself into a catch-22, and with better planning, this could have been avoided. What should have happened is this. Go up at the beginning, kill the ones that spawn, and leave the cinder block up there. Then, go down, spawn the last one, die, go get the block, and take him out. However, I didn't want to give up and reset the level right then and there. I looked around the reclamation bin in case there was anything I could push him off with, but I found something much better than an object. Out of absolutely nowhere, I managed to walk straight through the wall of this building while trying to hide and ended up out of bounds. Apparently the game was trying to help me, and even asked the most important question. Where do we go from here? I just started heading backwards and eventually popped back in bounds in front of exactly what I needed. A way back. I jumped into the first trench of the game and made my way back to where I was, grabbing 2 blocks this time just in case. After finally getting back to where I was, I hopped the fence, left myself a brick, went down, dispatched all the Omni projectors, let the top one kill me, and finally gave him a piece of my mind. I got one final striker by this spawner, and then went down the ramp. Down here, we meet the Zombish for the first time. Nothing new, just slightly more durable than the Nullman. Kill all of them, wave goodbye to the Void Ghost, ride the trash wheel, and head into the sewers. In sewers, you will immediately notice the absolute lack of things in here. To make things clear, yes, the flashlight is reclaimable. It was only used here to help you guys see better, but I actually had to read this level entirely and do it all again, and I didn't bring the flashlight with me, so enjoy being able to see while you can. I started by breaking apart this shelf in hopes of using the metal part to defend myself, but that didn't work out. I ran to the next room to try to use the large pit it has to my advantage, but they started fighting each other, and then I managed to make the other one fall down enough times that he died due to the damage he took in that duel. I killed this Zombish with a loose board from the barricade, and grabbed what I planned to use for all of sewers, a metal crate. It's invincible and keeps you at a distance from enemy attacks, but it's pretty unwieldy and doesn't do that much damage. I went through the side with the Zombish first, but the path doesn't really matter here because everything loops upon itself. The metal crates can do okay damage if used correctly, but the enemy has to be standing, so most fights take a while. Be patient, aim for the head, and you'll make it through. Our main problem with the crates is the fact that it can't break locks very easily. Here, I went the other way and broke a barrel to use a plank to break in. Use the ranged Zombish attacks to your advantage wherever you can, and use the box to clean up every Zombish in this upper area. In this room, we get our first look at the corrupted Nullman. Same as the regular Nullman, except personally, I think they look cooler. Our first major problem in sewers is that there's a Nullman up on this tank, and getting the box up there was an issue. So I changed tactics and started throwing these bottles at him instead. After running out of all the bottles, it then had the audacity to kill itself by falling over after all of my hard work. The enemies from this giant pipe weren't showing up for some reason, so I decided to move on. Before breaking the lock, I remembered that Nullman was still up there on the tank, and I didn't want to give him that, so I went to toss him off. In doing so, a miracle was discovered. Did you hear that? It landed on broken glass. I had no idea the glass shards could do damage, as obvious as that seems. After rummaging around a bit, I found our new weapon, broken bottles. They behave almost exactly as some of the light weapons and deal just as much damage, but they're not reclaimable, so they're perfectly good to use for this challenge. Grab yourself a set of 2 and clear out everything that moves. Due to the bottles being light and sharp, combat is the easiest it's been so far, so you can fight confidently. I also switched over to the night vision so you could see even better. Again, I know it's reclaimable, and when I reset the level, I didn't use this either, same as the flashlight, so again, enjoy it while you can. When you reach this section with the giant pit, be sure not to forget to climb up to the Boneworks crate as a crablet is guarding it. You can't bring the bottles, so just dodge and have it fall into the pit below. I continued killing everything with bottles, and then I jumped down into this arena, killed everyone, and realized I made a huge mistake. Much worse than the ones in Runoff. On this fan close to the ceiling, there was a purple key to a bonus area with tons of zombish and corrupted Nullmen inside. And once down here, you have no way of getting to this key, which means I had to entirely reset this level's progress. Getting back to where you were, never jump down. Head backwards and get this weapon crate. Leave it closed and bring it to the edge. Ready yourself, jump off the box and grab the overhead pipe. You have to use this pipe to climb all the way over to the fan with the key on it. When there, do not let go of the pipe, because you're only halfway done. You have to climb all the way back too. It's a long, painful climb, so be patient. Falling at any point on the way there or back is a full level reset, so take your time and pray you make it on the first attempt. When you have the key and are safely back, head down the slide to see the only reason why we had to climb all the way back. A single Nullman spawns and dies almost immediately. Kill everything in this bonus area, facepalm incredibly hard as you remember there's another secret entrance to this area and that climb was literally for nothing, then kill everything else in the normal area and you can finally leave the sewers and head to the warehouse. Warehouse is the smallest level in the game, and there's not much of a challenge here. Grab the pallet to kill the first Nullman, then be sure to bring a piece with you to dispose of this crablet outside. I recommend the bigger block part because they're stronger than the small planks. Climb onto the roof and hop through the window leading to the corrupted Nullman and the button inside. You will also find that your best friend Apollo has finally found you again. My block broke, so I ran over to get this basket to kill the active crablets from the vent. Once here, we again managed to find our newly acquired weapon, the broken bottle, so use this or the basket to clear out the warehouse. Toss everything to the roof and leap across the gap to the second half of this level. Pry open the doors so you can get through, give Apollo a nice window seat and watch the crablets take care of the Nullman and finish off what's left. Remember to break open the boxes for the extra crablets inside. They all have a crablet in this room. This room is also nice to grab a new bottle if you lost yours or were having a hard time getting it across the gap. Nab the crablet on the roof, open the exit door, then realize you forgot about these 2 corrupt Nullmen like you do every time, so climb over the wall and get them. Head to the final gauntlet of enemies for this stage, and don't worry about dying, because your objects will be where you died. Interestingly enough, the Omni projectors actually went ahead and stole the train on me, which I've never seen before. Apparently the game is once again helping us out. After cleaning out the few enemies that actually stayed to do their job, we started our long walk to the portal to the subway station, as Apollo is once again ripped from our hands. After magically appearing on the stolen train, we arrive in subway station. Flip the switch in the side room and be careful not to break the boxes yet, as we don't have a good replacement. Follow this path beside the train and kill the zombish so you don't have to worry about it later. I tried getting planks from this bench but couldn't pick them up. Then I tried the wet floor sign and it looked like our best weapon yet. Light, easy to wield, and also giving us range on enemies for the first time. Not incredible, but more than ever before. Easily take out the crablets in the boxes from the earlier room and move along. Upstairs, we find a second wet floor sign to make us twice as strong, and continue down through the gate. Turning right, we continue to see its effectiveness against crablets, but learn some bad news. Apparently, objects that hurt one enemy don't hurt all other enemies. I tried for a while wailing on this zombish with the signs to no avail. We would have to find something else. I found that the cactus didn't work, and neither did the blue crate we used on the crablets in warehouse. While using the nearby and reliable crates, I saw our savior from the sewers out of the corner of my eye. Another bottle. With that in hand, I knew I was unstoppable, so I killed all the zombish around these 2 paths before going back to the gate at the beginning and heading inside. Go to the first room on the left, clear out the zombish, take the red key from the garbage and the yellow key off the desk. Then unlock the red key room, turn off the steam, and kill the zombish guarding this chest. Going back upstairs, I forgot to raise the divider like an idiot, so I did that and then came back. I also grabbed another wet floor sign because, although not good at killing the zombish, they are very good at dealing with crablets and the boxes they come in. Take out the horde of zombish, break open all the crablet boxes, and then keep going deeper into the station. Around the corner, there's another zombish and another pile of crablet boxes to smash. Then head through the next door. Open the giant door, hop on the cart, and make your way to the other side of the level. The rest of this level is very similar to what happened earlier. Kill off the zombish, break open crablet crates, so I'll quickly fire off the important things here and enemies you might miss. Break the turret in the last cabin of the train. There's a zombish hiding in these crates. Get the blue key off the table.
Oh, come on, seriously?
Yes, I broke every one of these boxes, and yes, it took 9 minutes. Discover that they've been stealing Apollo to make merchandisable plushies. There's one crablet with the generator. Use the vents to get to some secret rooms.
Really? Again with this?
Knock down this big vent and absolutely brutalize a crablet by jumping on top of the vent cover. Find the real Apollo trapped in someone's office. Turn the last corner to finally reach the end of this long, painful level full of crablets, only to have Apollo stolen from you once more. Time to take the fight to them in tower. My first attempt at tower, I got a box stuck in the first door and got stuck outside. The second attempt, however, I used a new strategy we haven't tried yet, being a complete coward and running for your life. I collected the 3 batteries in hopes to use this big vehicle, but it's actually the first time I've ever used it, and I managed to break it immediately. Luckily, due to tower being what it's called, a tower, we can jump from the top all the way to the bottom, so we can scour the entire level for something to use to kill the enemies. After more running and a bit of dying, we get to the rave room, which has the best music in the game in my opinion, but in the next room, we finally found our answer. Something last seen as far back as the break room, dumbbells. Now, only the large dumbbell will actually deal damage, so grab it and go on an absolute massacre, killing everything in the entire stage until this room. You may notice, however, that there is one Omni projector seemingly out of reach, up high on a platform above the ground level. However, we can get to this platform by dropping down from above through the rave room and walking along. Unfortunately, when we get there, this guy is nowhere to be found, and hopping back down, he spawns in again. So we need to find a way to get on this platform without despawning the Omni projector. Seeing no paths or ways to climb up, it was time to get creative. We needed to make our own way up. So I got stacking. When stacking crates, build in the corner of this wall to help support, and make sure everything is aligned before moving to the next block. A shaky tower will not help you here. This build footage that you're seeing is sped up to 50 times speed, the maximum my editor can do. This took over an hour straight of stacking boxes, but finally we did manage to get up to the platform and take out this Omni projector. Compared to that, the rest of this level is a breeze. Take out the enemies on the top level and hide behind cover when needed. Then ride the elevator up to Time Tower. Once in Time Tower, head straight over to the elevator and grab a metal box. This level only consists of the 4 nullmen because all of the other enemies infinitely respawn, so they don't count. Plus, all enemies that do get spawned despawn when all the cores are in, so any that spawn do die anyways. I recommend prepping each launcher first and making sure your shots are lined up, then do a lap hitting all 4 buttons and you'll have all the cores in place. Once the clock is reset, you will be warped to where Apollo was being held captive. Take him in hand and with brute force break through the boards and finally save Apollo. Jump straight out of this door to skip another cutscene. While Apollo may be saved, it seems you may not be. They've changed their plans to instead capture you. By showing the guard how well you can walk, he will help you escape.
Hey, friendship!
And after greeting many newfound friends and even seeing Apollo again, you realize you weren't captured at all, but in fact, saved. It seems like the king wants to test our fighting skill with our most underused weapon replacement, the metal crate. We relied on it many times, but never had a true test of its strength.
Welcome! Prove your strength to earn an audience with the king.
Grab the box and prepare for 3 waves of zombish to attack. The only trick we can use is that after a zombish exits a door, getting pushed back through will kill it. Use that to your advantage and show just how well versed you've become. With the zombish finished, the king is impressed and wishes to test us himself.
Hey, we've seen enough! Join me in the throne room for a 1v1.
Arriving in his castle, we climb to the top, press the button, and enter the majestic halls.
You've come all this way. Dukes up!
After the king relinquishes his crown to us, we choose salvation for our people and are met with the biggest problem in the run. This entire room. There are many problems presented to us in this room. There are the immovable cement roadblocks holding the plug in place. There's the giant button high off the ground that we need to push. There's this hook that has to be positioned beneath the plug. We have to solve all of this with only what we have here. It's not going to be easy. You will want your subjects out of the way. Either leave them up top or they will fall down and die. Either way works. The first thing is getting the roadblocks removed. They can't be interacted with at all in their state. But I noticed something while trying to move them. There were 2 small holes in the bottom. Coincidentally, there also happened to be one of those portable forklifts in the room as well, and the prongs fit right in. The game is helping us one last time, it would seem. Next problem, the button. Needing quite a bit of force to push, throwing things was not going to work. So I took a page from Tower and started stacking again. The button isn't as high as the platform, but we had no walls to help hold the stack in place. We needed a completely freestanding structure, and we only had 3 crates in length. After struggling with the tower and using weapon crates to help get boxes higher, we managed to have the exact amount we needed to be able to jump into the button ourselves. Pushing the button lowered the hook slightly, and although not much, made us just be able to reach it with a big jump off this generator. And after several minutes of very slowly pulling this hook as hard as possible, it finally fell into place. Climbing our stack one last time to press the button again, we managed to open the voidway for the final fight in the game. We were given an army, so even if nothing was available, we would have been fine. But almost as congratulations, the game gives us one more stack of cinder blocks to help make this fight easy. Once all enemies are destroyed, climb this incredibly tall structure and once inside, we have shown it is possible to beat Boneworks without any reclaimable objects.